death has actually made it worse. I like dolls, but I love books. Okay, I love dolls too. You got me. Hello out there, all you doll-loving book nerds, and welcome to my channel, where my dolls and I sit and talk about the books we like. Sometimes it's Barbie, sometimes it's Illy, sometimes it's Monster High, sometimes it's a Disney princess, sometimes it's Must I Carry On? I feel like you get the point. Basically, my dolls and I have our own little book club. My name is Daniel, and I am the Barbie Book Boy. So there I was, indulging a deliriously unhinged dance of chaos to the musical stylings of Orpheus, while the full moon illuminated the faces of my unimpressed dolls, when suddenly a besieging thought pierced the music and stopped me dead in my tracks.
My dolls won't be able to follow me into the afterlife.
So should I even go? Maybe I can smuggle them in. I would need a plan. And what better way to compose a doll's smuggling caper into the underworld than by reading Lost Gods by Brom. It's got everything I need to know about navigating my post-life excursions, and I'd like to tell you about it now. But I'll need the help of one of my plastic gal pals. But how to choose? It needs to be someone jaded, somebody who's already dead inside, someone who scoffs at the prospect of a torturous eternity in an unforgiving hellscape of danger and treachery. And then it came to me. Is lightning just the sky's version of having a bad hair day? Anyway, there's only one gal for this job, and her name is
Malibu Barbie.
Okay, so maybe Southern California isn't exactly purgatory. I just really wanted an excuse to show her off. Because she's so chill. Nothing kills her vibe, not even death. So I knew she'd keep a cool head while we journey into the belly of the underworld. Just look at this face. It's the face of a gal who can't be bothered. She doesn't have time for the drama. She's working on her tan in between catching waves. Cowabunga! She's living off the memories of the summer of '71, when she was just a carefree beach bum living off the high tide of life and trying to soak up some good vibes. Purgatory schmurgatory, that's what she says. All she needs for a good time is her iconic blue bathing suit, a beach towel, a bottle of suntan lotion, and a good book. I actually do have her bottle of suntan lotion, but I was scared I was gonna lose it, so I stuck it to the bottom of her base with a sticky dot. Anyway, let's get into it. Lost Gods starts with young Chet Moran being sprung from a short little stint in jail. Side note, I often use an established image when reading these books, just for my mind to have a fun and easy, breezy place to go. So when imagining the character of Chet, I conjured up images of KJ Apa from Riverdale for the sole reason that Chet is described as having red hair. So there you go, a little insight into my mind while I'm reading these books. Anyway, don't worry, Chet's crimes weren't anything more than just some young, dumb, boneheaded stuff, most of which isn't even illegal anymore today. It was nothing that's going to make you dislike him. But doing a little bit of time has changed him, and he wants to make a fresh start. You can tell he's serious about it because he sells his beloved Mustang in favor of a more family-friendly car. And when a guy sells his car, it's pretty much the grand gesture of grand gestures. See, Chet's trying to win back the love and trust of his pregnant wife, Trish, who's basically cut him off after this last asinine stunt that landed him in jail. She's done. She's fed up. She's had it. But his gesture works, and they're forced to flee town in the middle of the night because Trish's dad is some big, scary, local bigwig judge, and he's basically vetoed Chet from Trish's life. So they make their daring escape and head to Chet's grandma's house, where they're hoping to find a little bit of sanctuary. But Grandma's house doesn't exactly prove to be the safe hideout that they were hoping for. Chet gets murdered, okay? Murdered. Like, right away. I'm telling you, it doesn't take long for the action in this book to catch like a monster wave. But it turns out being murdered was kind of the easy part. Because Chet is now stuck in purgatory. And it ain't exactly the beaches of Southern California, okay? It's a nightmare, but he's got a plan. If Chet can locate an ancient key rumored to be down there somewhere, he just might be able to save his wife and baby who are still stuck topside, still alive, but at the mercy of Chet's murderer. He's completely in over his head, and not just because he's 6 feet under. Get it? 6 feet under? But he's smart, and he's learning how to navigate purgatory's horrors and atrocities basically on the fly. He just so happens to be stuck in the underworld at a particularly tumultuous time. A bunch of long-forgotten gods are fighting with legions of demons for dominion over the many lost souls that are trapped down there. And if that wasn't enough, a faction of fed-up souls are trying to rise up and revolt against their oppressors and take down the gods and demons who are keeping them locked in chaos and misery. The underworld is like basically the Wild West, okay? It really is every man for himself, and Chet is caught up in the middle of it. But the only thing Chet cares about is saving his wife and baby. So he's begrudgingly forced to play this game of madness to get what he needs before it's too late. And that's the story of Lost Gods by Brom. So what are my thoughts? Let me tell you, I found this novel captivating. Brom hammered out an underworld that is dripping in darkness and despair. It was actually kind of depressing at times. But only because I would hope that after everything we have to endure throughout our lives, that we can at least someday know peace, regardless of what happens when it's lights out for good. Nope, not according to Brom. He's got news for us, and it ain't good. The underworld is a lawless hellscape where everyone and everything wants a piece of you, figuratively and literally. And that was slightly anxiety-inducing. For me anyway, nothing phases her. So thanks a lot, Brom. But you have to go with Chet anyway, because he's doing it for love, and I suppose that's as good a reason as any. Ultimately, Chet's a good guy, and he manages to make a few good friends along the way, each with their own tragic backstories and personal mission. See, death hasn't done anything to alleviate the sense of urgency that we feel throughout our lives. In fact, for several of these characters, death has actually made it worse. And that's a real bummer. I may have actually shed a few tears at the searing hopelessness of some of these characters' situations, which is an awkward thing to do when reading. It makes it hard to see the page, but also you're just basically working yourself up into a state of sorrow over a hallucination that you inflicted upon yourself. For leisure. I need help. Anyway, Brom doesn't take it easy on anyone in this book, not even the really lovable characters. And the titular Lost Gods are a fascinating lot because they're all based on real mythology from various cultures throughout time. Real mythology. Is that an oxymoron? Anyway, the extra homework of researching these lost gods that Brom introduces us to only contributes to the lush tapestry that is this story. So we strongly encourage you to do so as well. It was fun to learn about them, what can I say? We don't have gods like that anymore. Today's gods are so boring. It's like religions today aren't even trying. It does not bode well for the future gods that we invent. We gotta get someone on that. But not Brom. His gods would probably be like way too scary. Way. You guys know who would make a super fun god? Nah. This book also features some thematic artwork, and it was cool to see Brom's interpretation of some of the various characters and gods. I may have taken a screenshot or two to use as my phone's wallpaper. I similarly did so with Brom's book Slewfoot, which also features some of his artwork, but that's a video for a different day. So there you have it. Just a few quick little thoughts on Lost Gods by Brom. A creepy, anxiety-inducing love story of horror and sorrow where families are torn asunder and death is only the beginning. My dolls and I are going to be doing these weekly book discussions, so if that's your thing, then stay tuned. And while you're here, you might as well like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment for Malibu Barbie. She's a really good listener, and she's full of great advice. I gotta know, as a surfer girl, are you just like really into Poseidon?
Malibu Barbie.
The nightmare.
The nerve.